Cheese, 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 and lots of cheese, followed by more cheese. Yes, 1, 2. Just checking that we're getting a good stream level, and I'm getting told excellent connection, so that is always good. Welcome back to another stream. It's, of course, DJ Ash Noble, and I'm going to showcase two new tracks to you that I've been working on. So we'll go through each track and I'll preview some of the track to you, and I'll sort of explain a little bit about how these tracks came about and how I came to obviously start putting these tracks together, what gave me the ideas for the tracks, and just in general, just giving you some information about the tracks. So I've been working on two tracks over the case. I've been working on two tracks at the moment, and they're like really different to what I've normally been doing. So when I say different, like they're still bounce tracks, because I know like if someone says like, oh, I've done like a totally different to what I normally do, people would think like, oh, he's made something like different than a bounce track. But what I mean by that is when I've made like previous bounce tracks, like I've gone for specific styles, so like different styles to what I've done in this track and the next track. So like I normally go for like a theme, and a lot of my theme normally is to mix a lot of like old school well known stuff and to do kind of more like clublandy sort of old school bounce kind of vibes is what I would kind of gather from it, and also a little bit of I guess knowledge comes in from the hardcore sort of sounds as well. And what I was gonna say is this track is like completely different to that, but this track gives some summertime vibes. It's very summer orientated, and it's kind of got that. It's almost kind of got that like deep house feel, but just with a bounce with a bounce rave vibe to it. So what I'm gonna do is, like always, I'm gonna preview some of the track to you, and of course, then we'll talk a little bit about how the track came about and some of the features that I've used in the track. So let's go.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Oh yeah, 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 oh yeah. I've been thinking of you, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of stop the preview there because the track sort of more or less repeats itself after that. There's just a few little slight differences in the second half of the track compared to the first half, but it's a really nice, happy summertime. It's a feel good tune, and I absolutely love it. I love the organ in it. The organ is my favourite part in it, and it's that really distinctive, feel good kind of like from like organ house and like organ bass line. That it's just that really feel good, that just sounds like really good, and it was just a really good sort of happy sort of sounding vibe track to make a remix of. So where did the remix come about? What made me think like, I want to remix this track? So um I was in work the other day, I think it was Thursday, and I was just kind of having a little bit of just listening to some music while I was doing some work, and I was just browsing some random stuff on YouTube, and I was thinking in my mind like, what could I do for a track that would just be a little bit different, but I wasn't like really aiming as such to like find something to remix. It was sort of in my mind, but I was just listening to music as well, like just to get inspiration. And I was going through some stuff on YouTube, and I came across this track called "Thinking of You," and it had this vocal with this really nice organ sound. And I instantly thought, "Do you know what? I'd love to do a version of this." So I actually ripped the vocal in work just to see how clean the vocal would actually be. And it didn't sound too bad. So I was like, when I get home, I'm gonna re-rip this at home and have a go at. I'm gonna have a go at making this because this actually sounds all right. And I sort of I don't. I think I had like quite a busy day on Thursday, so I don't think I got round to starting it on Thursday. And then I think on Friday was when I kind of started the track because it was like a really wet day, so I didn't really go anywhere, and it was absolutely hammering it down with rain. So I just had like a really productive day on FL Studio, and I just got through like loads of projects and just like grinded out these tunes, and started working on this with this organ sound that just sounded really nice. It just sounded really nice, and it had just a really good vibe to it. So I instantly knew like, I've got to continue with this. I've got to make this. And then I'm like, let's make it. So I kind of did, and it's just about finished. I think there's like just maybe a few little tweaks to make, but I'm about 99% happy with this tune, and stuff like that. I've sent it to a couple of people just so they could have a little bit of a listen, and just so they could, give a little bit of feedback as well. I haven't sent this updated version yet. I sent like a bit of an older one, and they said they liked it. So I'm gonna get a little bit of feedback off a couple of people, and take some people's advice on board. And then I'm just gonna call this track done, and I'm gonna, get it ready, and hopefully play it this weekend when I DJ at Hull Cheese. So that should be really fun. I'm gonna try and aim to play a couple of my productions on this set. I'm gonna play some other tracks as well, but I want some of my own stuff to kind of come through a little bit more in this set. So I think I'm gonna play about 3 or 4 tracks from me. High Hopes will be one of them. This will most certainly be another one. Myself and Joe Dunn, we've just done a remix of a track. We've called it The Bassline, and I think I might play myself and DJ Lashes. We remixed Hideaway, not the 90s one, not the 90s Hideaway, but yeah, the other, the more newer Hideaway, which has the female vocalist. Is it Chiesa or something like that who does it? I can't. I just know it begins with a K. So you know, we'll see where we go, and we'll take it from there. You know, and see how the set goes from there on. So the track itself, this organ is kind of like what kind of drives the main sort of vibe of the track. So it sounds like this. And it's almost got like a real little bit of a bass sound behind the organ sound as well. Yeah, I'm just playing around, but hang on. But no, I absolutely love the organ sound. I'll play it again. So that's the organ sound. And then underneath it, I put this real, like little bass sort of pad sound. I'm not totally certain on it though. That sounds a lot better. I think I just personally had it a bit low. Let me just play it now.
I've been thinking of you, oh yeah, oh yeah. I've been thinking of you, oh yeah, oh yeah. I've been thinking of you, oh yeah, oh yeah. I've been thinking of you, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So yeah, that does sound a bit better now. Another thing I added as well was this little, I think it's here. So if I click on it, it's a little vocal that says 3, 2, 1, let's go.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
So I like that. Little build up, which just comes in here. I actually did a little bit of chopping and did a little bit of editing to this build up, as it is. It was a really good length for the track that I wanted, but I just did a little bit of editing to make it just sound a little bit more suited to the track. And then we've got this little snare roll, we've got a rise up, and then we've got like impacts and crashes and stuff like that just sort of help support the track as well. And then one distinctive part of the track is to have the organ carry on with a kick on its own, and it sounds like. And then sort of I think it's every like 4 bars, it's like an instrument comes in. So like the hats come in, and then a vocal starts and the claps come in, and then the percussion comes in, and then there's like a 3, 2, 1, let's go, and then it switches back to from the organ to the normal donk itself. And then this lead comes in, so I think the lead is here. It was originally a piano, and then I didn't really like the piano. I felt like it clashed with the organ a bit, so I decided to change it to a lead, but I've still got it called piano because I just couldn't be bothered to change the text. But and it just follows that same pattern that the organ did. That is like the main. It's like the main notes. It's the main drive of the track. So that was really cool. And then we've got this like little. So if I just play it on its own, part of the vocal, but it goes like. So it's almost like just a little bit of a vocal chopping. sort of loop, and it was out of the original track as well. So that was in there. And then, of course, we've got the vocal. So the vocal is obviously the main drive as well, which is here. So there's that one. But it sounds, if I play you the first bit here.
I've been thinking of you, oh yeah, oh yeah.
And then just with the thingy on its own.
I've been thinking of you, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So it just sounds like really good and happy, and it just has that, like I say, that summer vibe to it. If we come over to the second breakdown, I wanted to add like a little bit of a garage kick. So over here.
I've been thinking of you, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So that's that, and it's the garage sounds like this, the garage kick. And I actually really like that because it just really kind of sounds good. It just sounds like amazing, and it just, because the original is kind of like a garagey sort of housey kind of flavoured vibe, so I kind of wanted to give it a little bit of a hint of, like, you know, you kind of know that it's come from that kind of genre originally, and then we kind of just repeat the same process to for the second part of the track, just because there's, you know, not really anything else you know, really I could think of to do, but it sounds really good and effective, and it wasn't supposed to be like a real complicated track. It wasn't supposed to be something that had loads of like massive different things happening. It was just that real nice summer vibes track, and you just know that, you know, it's nice and simple, but it sounds good, it's nice and effective, and it just makes you feel happy when you listen to it. And you could just put it on like midway through a set, and people would just think, this is real nice and happy, and it can just change the vibe, and it can just sound like really good. So I was proper happy with it, and yeah, there's just still, like I say, a few little tweaks just to make, but I am like really happy with this track. So that was obviously a cool thing. So we'll move on. We'll move on to the second track, because there isn't really too much more to say about this one. You know, there's build-ups. The normal donk, I'll just tell you, it sounds like this. So that sounds like that, and then there's a little sub-donk here. So yeah, that's the sub-donk. And then of course, like, just put a little kick loop in, little clap loop, and just did some stuff to it. Put effects and things on as well. So if I go over to track 10, that's the vocal. It's got fruity reverb. It's got a bit of EQ on it. The donk also has some EQ on it as well, and just has a good little vibe to it. But what was the so track 6 was the donk. So if I go on to track 6, it has a little bit of, just has a little bit of like some just EQ and stuff on it, just to make it sound a bit better, and it does. It sounds a bit more punchier. It sounds less flat. It feels like it comes through the track quite nicely, which is what I like. And then also the sub-donk as well, that has an effect on it as well. I think it has some EQ as well. Actually, no, it doesn't, but I could maybe put some on just to try it out. And I think also it's here, so got a clap loop. This is on number 2. This also has a bit of EQ. I like to do some EQ on the, you could hear all that light. So if I play it again, I think it's gone now, but yeah, you can hear all that excess, and then it's just getting rid of that excess. So like all of this sound here is like gone, and it's kind of more just playing the actual kind of the hat itself, rather than having all the like almost like the echoiness with the hat. It just takes away so much like echoiness, and it just sounds good. And I watched someone do it on a tutorial, and I thought it just makes the hat sound so much better. So I like to do it with hats, whether I'm using loops or one shots. So yeah, so we'll move on to the next track. I will save that because yes, I think it's worth saving. So the next track, if I can find it, is Pick Up the Phone. So we'll let this one load up. It will probably take a little bit of a while to load up. So this one, I would probably say isn't as finished as the track we've just seen. I said that the last track was probably about 99% finished. I'd probably say this one is probably about 90% finished. There's like there's a couple of like distinctive little things that I need to do. I haven't added a sub bass in this track yet, and I just kind of want to just turn the vocal down just ever so slightly, and I just want to fix a few little things, so it's not quite as finished, but I would really say that it is nearly finished. It's a good 90% finished. I would say I'm like 90% happy with it, but there's just like a couple of things that I'm just not totally, feel that, I just feel there's a few things that need doing. So this one, this is called Pick Up the Phone. And this was very different for me. This is something that I just never thought in a million years it's something I'd do. And because I liked the vibe of Thinking of You, I went down sort of like the same sort. Well, I attempted to go down the same route, and it started looking for like similar tracks that were getting uploaded to these YouTube channels like Selected and Aereo, I think it's called, and stuff like that. And I was just having a little bit of a browse around and just see if any like real nice vocals and real nice like sounds sort of like jump out to me. And I found this track that was called Phone by a producer called Medusa, I believe it was. And I think that's who it was. It Medusa? I think it was something like that. And they did this track called Phone, and it had like just a really sort of like different vibe to it. And it was more at the time that I was kind of like thinking like, could I turn this into a track? Like, it wasn't just exactly like I want to turn this into a track. It was just kind of like, this sounds different. Would it actually work? And then I got working on it, and I just fell in. I'm not gonna lie, I just completely fell in love with it, and it's become one of my most favourite tracks that I've made. The vibe of it is just so different. So the song itself is about somebody who can't get through to somebody on the phone, and they've sort of like sang this song about it. So I've gone the extra mile, and I've tried to do something a little bit different with this track, and I've added in a few distinctive sounds that you will be able to pick out, and I'll go through them once we've listened to the preview. So have a little bit of a listen to this and tell me what you think.
Why don't you pick up the phone, up the phone, up the phone? Why don't you pick up the phone, up the phone, up the phone? Why don't you pick up the phone, up the phone, up the phone? Why don't you pick up the phone, up the phone, up the phone?
Welcome to the O2 messaging service.
Thought we were something, but now we are nothing. I did something wrong.
O2 messaging service. Welcome to the O2 messaging service. The person you are calling is unable to take your call. Please leave your message after the tone. To re-record your message, key hash at any time.
Are we in something, and now we in nothing? I did something wrong, but I don't know what. Just want you to want me, but you just wanna leave me at home. Are we in something, and now we in nothing? I did something wrong, but I don't know what. Just want you to want me, but you just wanna leave me at home. I know you pick up the phone when I'm all alone, baby. Hit me like a heart attack, but don't go back so quick. Why don't you pick up the phone when I'm all alone, baby? Kiss me like a heart attack, but you don't go back so quick. Why don't you pick up the phone, up the phone, up the phone, up the phone?
Welcome to the O2 messaging service.
I guess I'll talk to her again.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service. Please leave your message after the tone.
I know you pick up the phone when I'm all alone, baby. Hit me like a heart attack, but don't go back so quick. Why don't you pick up the phone when I'm all alone, baby? Kiss me like a heart attack, but don't go back so quick.
So there we go. That is the second track, and what a track that is. That is, I love it so much. It's like something so different, but it's so unique. But I actually really like the vocals in it as well. It just sounds like really. It kind of sounds modern but classic at the same time. And I just really like it. I really like the chorus. That why don't you pick up the phone when I'm all alone? I like it. It's just got a really good vibe to it. I like the message to it. So you probably heard some distinctive sounds in there, and I wanted to be a little bit clever with this remix, and I took some mobile phone sounds, and one of the probably most distinctive sounds that you will be able to recognize within the track is I actually took a sample recording of Welcome. Well, I got it offline, but it was I got it online. Sorry, but it was the Welcome to the O2 messaging service. So it was the answer machine. So I wanted to put that in. So I'll show you. So I'll put that in just here.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service.
And then I didn't, at this part of the song, I didn't want the whole, because if I stretch this, like the whole thing would like play out, and then you'd have like the please leave the message after the tone. I didn't want that for this section of the track, so I wanted it almost kind of like he's tried ringing, it's gone to the answer machine, and he's like literally hung up before like he's decided not to leave a message. So I went onto the internet and I got this little like sample of like a phone hanging up. So like when someone puts a phone down, like what you would like like hear in a movie or like a TV series. So he's put the phone down, and then from the actual vocals out of the track, there's a vocal sample where the guy goes,
I guess I'll try call her again.
I guess I'll try and call her again. And then that was kind of what gave me the idea to put the, welcome to the messaging service. And then from that point, it comes straight in with the. So that is obviously where it comes. Some more mobile phone sounds. I also took this as well, which is a phone ringing. So I wanted to put that in as well, which is really, really weird, but I like it. And then over here.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service. The person you are calling is unable to take your call. Please leave your message after the tone.
So at that point, I put the whole messaging service in, and then after it beeps, that's when he comes back in again with his vocal. So this was kind of like when he starts singing again, that's him leaving his message on the answer machine, which was really good. The melody itself kind of sounds like a D&B melody. So I like that. And then first off, there's this one first. Which it just kind of sounds like less gritty, which is just really nice, like to just start the breakdown. And then like just when he goes, because he starts off with a lighter voice and then he goes with like a deeper voice, and when he goes deeper, that's when I change to the more gritty lead. There's also this as well, like a little. So it's a little bass breakdown. And then I also took a bass sound out of the original track as well. Sped it up and it sounds like this. Like that, and then when you play them in the breakdown. It just adds like a really nice bass effect to the whole entire track, which is what I like. We've got like usual fill effects. This is what the donk sounds like. So it just kind of follows that bass pattern there and does that kind of cool thing. We've got the kicks, the claps, the usual shidazzle, and then on the second drop we go for something a little bit different.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service.
I guess I'll try call her again.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service. Please leave your message after the tone.
And then it goes straight back into the chorus one last time, and it just switches it up a little bit, and it's got this. So I took the lead, and I took the very first note of the lead, but put it on time with. So I put it so it would like play along like with the bass, so it'd like act as almost like a bass note. So every time you hear a donk, you hear that. So it's like wap 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 rather than going wap wap wap, you know. So when you play the normal melody, which is here, you can see it like it starts on the beat. So if I go over, you can obviously see here. So it starts on the beat and it kind of like goes in time with the kicks. Whereas on this drop here, it's like off with the kick, and it's like on with the bass. So, do you know what I mean? Whereas, say for example, I put it here, it'd sound like this. See what I mean? So like if you have it like there, where like the bass would be, it just sounds a lot more banging. It just sounds like really good in that sense. And what else can I tell you? Oh yeah, so in the first breakdown, I added like a break beat. So I sped that up, and it just sounds like a real sort of like jungly. Only plays for 4 bars, and then the build up comes in. But yeah, it's got like a real like jungle sound to it. So if I just play it on its own. Yeah, it sounds really jungly, and it just gives it like a really nice effect. I absolutely love it. I really love it. It sounds really good. And then on the second breakdown, the melody kind of like follows the build up. So it just follows that little build up there. Whereas I think on the first drop, it just stays complete. So on this one,
Welcome to the O2 messaging service.
So yeah, it just sounds really. I think the only way to describe it is different. It's got a different approach to it. It's got a different vibe. It's just something a little bit crazy. Something that you don't normally probably expect to hear, but there we are hearing it. What can I say? So yeah. So how did this idea come about? Did I already explain that? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So like I say, I was on YouTube. I was browsing, came across this vocal. I thought, can I do something with it? Just more of a test. And then, like I say, it just turned out to be something just a little bit more magical, really, and just something a little bit more. What would the word be? Just something a little bit more better than I imagined, and just kind of cool, I guess. So. Let me know in the comments. What is your favourite? Which one do you like out of the two that we've listened to today? Do you prefer the more summer vibe track? Do you just like the weirdness and the coolness of this track just being a little bit different? Let me know. What would you like to what would you like to play in your set? Like, I mean, hopefully both of them. But like if you had to take a pick at like playing one or the other in your set, which one's going in. So yeah, so I'm gonna finish these off completely, and then I'm gonna play them in my set on Saturday. So I'm playing upstairs in Hull Cheese, I believe. To be fair, like I don't really know what I'm expecting for this event, because I've not really seen too much on the promotion side of it, and I've not really promoted it that much myself, because I've just been like so busy, and to be honest, I never expected it was gonna be anything like absolutely magnificent. But like I'd be surprised if anyone like really turns up. But we might get a few people just like popping into Cheese or something. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know. I'm just gonna use it as a good chance just to jump on some decks and just go through some promo tracks and just be in a place where you can have it a little bit louder, I suppose. That'll be the vibe of it. So so make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to share, all of that good stuff. I'm gonna go away now. So thank you for watching. Taking the time to come and listen to these tunes, and of course, if you think there's anything wrong with the tracks, or there's something that you think should be changed up, or something doesn't sound right, do let me know in the comments, because I'm always trying to improve. And if you might notice something that I don't like, if something sounds off or something sounds out, just let me know. And I can jump back on the projects and fix them, and everything's all honky dory, everything's all fine and dandy. So like, comment, share, all of that good stuff, and we'll see you again soon. Yes, sounds. Oh, Dan says it sounds awesome. Big up your chest, Dan. I don't know. I missed the comment, so I don't know which track it was, but it was one of the two. So thank you, and see you soon.